Hi fans. I'm I'm toying with the idea of going sandy blonde. My brother's hair was this color when he was younger. Now he's got a polished skull. He sports his sideburns. He has what you call like the sand trap. He's got that sand trap. I have the textured hair in my family. I'm the one with the coarse hair because I am a mixture of Caucasity and African. Yeah! Anyway, I was gonna just do a little funny video, but I figured, well, while I was in my gear, I could, I could pretend to be oh, this is what I'm gonna do. This is my 2 seasons ahead look. I'm getting ready for Aspen. I'm just waiting for staff to go retrieve my Louis Vuitton luggage and my Chanel carry-on. I prefer to mix the labels. Louis and Chanel. I'm not like your average socialite. I'm always ahead 2 seasons with my agenda. So right now I'm already, I coordinated my wardrobe. I've coordinated my wardrobe for the fall, and I'm just lining up now for the winter, because Aspen is calling, and my extensions are coming out. It's actually a wig. It's a wig that I purchased years ago. We went to the Halloween parade, and I grew up in New York City, so I've seen the parade, and you know, I really never had a desire to go see it because I grew up in New York City. So you know, I'm down with you know, however people want to live their life, because we're all creations in God's eyes. So you know, it was like, it wasn't a novelty to me. And as colorful as I am, I mean, God, I could just be the parade on my own, but I gotta try to be serious. I'm gonna do a comedy skit one day. No, but, yeah, you know, when you're a celebrity, you can, you know, you have everything done for you, and you don't have to worry. You know, I have my cars, I have my Tesla, I have my Lamborghini. I'm a little upset now with my Tesla, only because of, well, I'm just hoping that I don't get electrocuted by the lithium batteries. And I don't use drugs. This is just me being funny. I've always been very hysterically funny. And I think the humor, well, I know now that the humor comes from seeing a lot of pain, okay? Uh, but I don't want to talk about pain right now. I want to share I'm going to share my agenda with everybody when I go to Aspen. Let's see. Um, I'm going to have caviar. I was going to caviar. Hey, give me a caviar. Yo. But I am very dainty. You can see that. I can morph into a very dainty. Okay, this is reality. When you grow up in New York City, when you're a woman, when you're a minority, when you are a person who does not fit in, because, well, I always fit in with the black girls, the black people. Yeah, baby. And I got initiated into my crew. after having a little because I was picked on. It was like, I don't think so. I'm not violent, never, ever, ever, ever. But in the world of self-defense, when someone is physical and puts their hands on you, well, my name's not Jesus, everybody. My name is not Jesus. Because, yep, I always would walk away from confrontation, but unfortunately, because of a lot of insecurities that young girls get, and that stems from their parents, making everything about them being like their idols. It's like, oh my God! Instead of teaching them, listen, this is the real world. Everything's not going to go your way. Don't be a little petty ass beach with other girls. Otherwise, I give you a. If you were raised like how my mother raised us, you'd be like, bam, no nonsense. This is what it is. Straighten out your act, and you go. She was tough. She was Russian. She was Russian. There was no. All right. As far as like that cradling and that affection, no, that was never there. That was never there. Was everything that I needed? Was I provided for with the roof over my head, with a warm bed, with clean sheets, with clothing, with food to nourish my belly? 100%. Was it crap food? Yeah, most of us were raised on crap food. This interest in our health and well-being really didn't become available until, well, everybody started freaking, healing open. I'm sweating. I gotta take this off. Oh my God, I could do this. Anyway, I'm a humorous individual, but yeah. So anyway, Aspen will not be calling me. If I had the money to go to Aspen, I would donate it, because I find no use in trying to impress people with hanging out with people that basically couldn't give two F's about me, but because I'm in that circle, they're like, rah, rah, you and us, yo, peace, dog. And that, you know what they are? They're a piece of what I can get from people. And that's what happens. This is our society. I don't think that there are genuinely sincere people to other humans unless you're like immediately connected, as far as being your immediate family or your spouse, and even with the immediate family you can get like a lot of, because whatever, people just they go into a freaking bag, and it's like, what do you got here? Let's talk. I'm not like that. I'm gonna talk and communicate. And if somebody can, and they want to have a dislike for me or grievance, knock yourself out, because it ain't my problem. It happens to be your problem, straight up, and that's that. But yeah, so I won't be hanging in Aspen. I've seen pictures of that place, and it's like, yeah. They look at me to say, listen, could you serve us? Do you have a drink water? I've been in like on vacation, and I live a very modest, simple life, but I'll save money and I'll do a nice vacation, because what else am I gonna do? But one time I went to Los Angeles. I told the story where I got lost trying to go to Central Casting to register, and I was in the hotel, and it was a 5-star hotel. It wasn't like it wasn't a pay by the hour joint. I'm on the elevator, and these people get on. They press, excuse me. They press. I'm standing there, and I'm like, just got off the flight, and I get over. I get my cab taxi ride to. No, actually, I picked up a rental car that time. Anyway, so I'm like. This lady gets on. She goes like 5 plays or whatever number. And I did. One. Got 2. Move your freaking arm, lady, because I ain't doing jack for you. It's just a rudeness that certain people their tone and how they direct their requests to people. No, it ain't gonna be me. It ain't gonna be me. But and that was somebody arrogant, like looking at me like, well, you got to do for me because, well, you wouldn't be here. You wouldn't be able to have this if it wasn't for the fact that, my whatever, all these trips that these people go through that are well, they think they're better than other people, But anyhow, that's that. But anyway, I hope everybody's having a great night, a great day. It's not night yet, not here in my area. These freaking people that keep on calling are harassing. I know, most definitely is. I don't care for it whatsoever. I don't. It's well, I did the extra work really because I wanted to, like, my thing is writing and creating, and photos and all that, videography. Uh, but it was just like, it was always something I wanted to do. But then the exploitation factor is very, very, I mean, it's very big. And if I'm not doing something, to be sitting around and have uh, craft service food, which basically consisted of granola bars, some fruit roll-ups, some Stella Dora cookies, like the stuff you'd get in a vending machine if you're, in a hospital or something, or a government building. Um, and I was like, yeah, I'm not with this, and so that's it. But anyway, I became a SAG member. I haven't paid my dues. I got very turned off by SAG because I did not see any type of representation for Gaza. And, well, that stems from the fact that, well, um, Hollywood is run by we know who. And, let's not rock the boat now. Let's not rock the boat because, as long as we have ours, rah, 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 that's how people think. But now people are speaking up. They're finally starting to speak up, you know. Like I said in videos, I would eat dirt and I would drink my own excrement if I had to, than to do something to be a benefactor to these people, these corporations that, bulldoze. Okay? 1 second. I don't like those people. Oh my God. Oh my God. Your host will be back in 1 moment. Da, 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 da. Oh man, I'm so disappointed. So disappointed. On TV. Oh no, where did she go? Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Shoot. Shoot. workload I have here. Oh, oh, a freaking workload. Like, it's just unbelievable. I really have a lot to do here. And I have this chronic dry eye, which is actually an erosion of the cornea because from meibomian gland disorder, which is what it's called, but it's actually an erosion of the eye. But, they won't tell you that. Unless you do your own research, you'll get the minimum. It's like, good job, do what you can, come on, keep coming. And I'll keep telling you it's the same thing, but you keep coming because, well, we need that copay, and we need that insurance to cover it, because it's going to be $800 for this 5-minute conversation. I get 7, they get the rest. It's what it is. It's what it is. We have medicine that has become corporate. Right? We have AI now billing people. We have this lopsided body of government that gives us. Oh man, this is horrible. Hold on, I have to clean these again. This is from a professional ophthalmological. Oh God, don't pop the lens. All right, I got scratches on this lens. It's not working. I have other glasses, but I left them in Aspen. My hair is wild. I need to. Hold on. I gotta be presentable. My hair kind of homemade. I look like a warrior. Well, I am a warrior, actually. I said to people I was born with a grenade in my hand because there's always been a fight. And I mean, like, not like, because I didn't put the cap on the toothpaste, but like, just, people are just, so see, God gave me one brother. I would have had 2, but my mommy lost one. And, my brother would fight with me, just being a brother, and he went into the military, and he taught me, like, well, I know when you're out in public, if you stand with your feet together, and if there's any kind of scuffle, you will go, bing! But if you put your feet apart, you could... People are crazy. I have been okay, through my journeys in life, in my photography, years ago, I would go to these political parades, and I was at one event, and this was when we had the cardinal who passed in I forgot his name. Any case, it was on 5th Avenue. It was right in front of St. Patrick's Cathedral. And I got a shot that was phenomenal. This white man, photographer, boom, elbowed me. I had to walk away. Because otherwise I would have been like this. Because they would have said, she assaulted him! No, boom, and he was like 6 foot. He was as tall as my husband. My husband was 6'3". My husband was 245 pounds. He was a bruiser. He wasn't like a little, like, lightweight, like somebody could. What'd you say? Anyway, yeah, yep. Crowds. My first response was rage and anger. First shocked, and no, actually it was rage, because I was like, I know training that if you, certain things you can do to prevent somebody from elbowing you, which could then result in them maybe toppling over. But I'm not going to say it. But in an instant like that, I would have been 100% correct to defend myself. But I didn't. And I just prayed and I said, what would Jesus do? No. I used several choice words, but I won't say them. But yeah, he was a chump. He was a chump. He's probably one of those guys who's physical with his wife or whatever. Or maybe he's got like he can't find his hammer, because he was too small and it fell between his butt cheeks. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. Some people are just like they're not well. They're not well. Another time I went to a boxing event in Las Vegas. My husband, I wanted him to go. He said, no, I can't go. So when I came back, he said he was traveling. I was like, oh, okay. The locks will be changed. Thank you very much because you invited. That's another video. Going into the hotel. Right? Not a pay by the hour joint. I'm not gonna be in like a little. I don't do CD. No. This man was standing so close to me that he was breathing on my neck. And I turned around and he saw the look in my face. When I tell you, I think this man saw, he saw Satan. He stepped back and was, and him, I used vulgar, I did use profanity because I wasn't in front of a house of worship, and I wasn't in front of a religious official. And then the people behind the desk, they were like, "Good girl," because they're all Latino, African American, Yeah, So yeah, what I'm trying to say is for women have to always be careful, and if you're traveling alone, when you're walking. Don't be on your phone like, you're making out with your boyfriend. Like, be aware. Be cognizant of everywhere you go. Look at who's around you. Look at where, because we're always victims. We always become victims. We're always, yep. Anyway, I'll have further updates once I return from my... No, that's not me. Like I said, if I had the means to be that me, I would be doing things for people who don't have. And well, that's just who I am. Anyway, the pretend socialite. See, I've been around a lot of people, seen a lot of places, seen different things, and I talked about I used to go to AA meetings because I was bored. Well, I would go to Al-Anon because of family. Those are other videos. Anybody with alcoholism or any type of substance abuse, and I say this with 100% sincerity, my feeling on it, my sentiments on it is that people that are in that type of condition, situation, you become a hostage. You actually become a hostage because you are like, I feel like people that are in those relationships, you become an emotional hostage to that person and their stuff. Unless you have your stuff with any type of substance. And no, that's not me. Not at all. Mm-mm. Life is too much to offer to be wasting money on nonsense and stupidity. Like, no, I don't think so. But anyway, ladies, stay safe. Thank you. That's my art. I have a collection that I've been working on, and I started to do my copyright. And I was supposed to go back, I I gotta find that staff. I just do. They gotta. I do everything on my own, but I'm gonna resume it and get back to it because I have a number that's assigned to my articles, my art, and my writings and songs that I've written. Yeah. Oh my God. That's as I've written, never meaning to say. I did sustain several concussions. Actually, I had a concussion when I was a little girl, when I had got my arm caught in the washing machine wringer. I went unconscious. Yeah. The thing almost crushed, it almost killed me because it took my arm, my little teeny arm. Well, they weren't that long back then, but they were still long. And I took a dish towel. I never forget that day either. Up until the time I blacked out. It took me and pulled me, and the thing, it did some damage to my shoulder and everything, and yeah, and it pulled me here on my neck. Oh! It's machinery. I always had a fascination with it, like car engines and everything, all that stuff. It was like, oh wow. But anyhow, girls need to know these things because when we become young adults, and if we have the opportunity and the luxury to become a motorist, hell yeah, man, you gotta go get your car fixed. I had my first new car was a Nissan Sentra, and powder blue, and I needed new brake pads, so I know about these things. And the guy, it was years ago, in the 80s, Fordham Road, Webster Avenue, Sears Automotive. This guy, he wanted to charge me some stupid number. He was from the islands. I was like, nah, man. This is what the part costs, buddy. I pay you by the hour for the job. He's like, all right, man, you know the bomb book lot. I was like, do I look like a... But now another woman who didn't know, it would have been okay. I got some extra cabbage here in my pocket. But that's why women need to know this stuff. You need to know about the parts. You need to know about your shocks. You need to know about your tranny. You need to know about your timing engine or your timing, whatever they like. Back then there was a timing belt. Now it's something else, but that thing is digital. Anyway, the Socialite has stuff to do because I can't sit still, and well, yeah, I got stuff to do because I will be out traveling tomorrow. I'll be going about. Yay. Betsy's got to get out sometimes, you know. Now I don't have my dog, so I can be out. I don't have the restriction. Oh, I'm going to go get another dog. I think I'm going to take a ride out to North Shore. That's what we had gotten. Well, we didn't get the dog that my son grew up with, but she came from there. Her name was Sheena. She was a lab and a shepherd dog mix. She was a beautiful dog. She was really, really sweet. Black and white. She had markings like moo cow. They used to call her Miss Dina Cow. Dina Cow. Anyway, the Socialite's going to sign off. Stay tuned for further imaginary, luxurious trips. I am going to go abroad again. I am going to go out of the country. I'm planning that. But I don't say stuff that I'm going to do because I just, out of superstition, that's just, like, no baby showers, none of that. After the birth, okay, then the celebration can begin, but not until birth. I don't believe in that. I have a superstition about that. I just do. It's just, you know. Everybody, stay well. Have a good weekend. I'm sure I'll be back with more wannabe socialite makeup vacations. Have a good one. Bye. Thanks for watching. Who's ever watching? I don't know.